All right, so now we're going to talk about sales training, creative marketing. So guerrilla marketing. So guerrilla marketing is a type of marketing coined by J. Conrad Livingston in his book Guerrilla Marketing. Who's read that book, Guerrilla Marketing? A couple people in here? Awesome, yeah. It's a really cool book. It kind of gets your mind thinking of that guerrilla marketing. But it is not based on the 800-pound gorilla principle, where you merely brawl your way into a market. And you've seen people do this. These national companies will come in and they'll cut the prices down. They just come on in and they think they can scoop you up, right? We got to be prepared for that stuff. So we want to make it guerrilla marketing the right way. That way our reputation just cascades, right? So in-your-face, low-cost, effective marketing. You know, I was talking to a gentleman, where was he? Up in Connecticut. And he was spending a lot of money on marketing, lots of money. I'm talking $60,000, $70,000 a year on marketing when he was only doing $500,000 or $600,000. You know, we did we were doing like $800,000 to $900,000, and my marketing was literally $35,000 a year. So you got to make it low cost in the beginning because every dollar counts. You got to get the sales cars. You got to pay for the gas. You got to pay for the lights in the building, right? We got to make sure we're not just spending that marketing. You want to track your marketing as well. You want your marketing to be tracked on how did you hear about us so we can replicate those wins. But meant to go viral or create a buzz. You guys heard me said buzz yesterday, right? Creating that buzz in your territory. That's what this is all about. Taking advantage of captive audiences. So it's unique, it's engaging, or eye-popping. So that message on that flyer might be, whatever, it's eating your roof. It's eye-popping. Whoa, what do you mean it's eating my roof? You know what I mean? Now, curiosity. I got to call this company because I didn't realize it was eating my roof. You know, some of us are in markets that roof cleaning isn't even known, right? They're like, what? You can clean that roof? I thought that was jet fuel. I've heard so many stories, you know what I mean? So many stories of why those things are there. But I'm like, no, that's not really, that's a myth, or people think that, but it's not. And then you have to go into it, why it's algae and bacteria and all that stuff, right? So create messages that are going to be eye-popping and engaging. Consider your reputation. So don't do, too crazy of stuff. You've seen the plumbing trucks where they got the toilet and the guy's in the truck, it looks like he's on the toilet. You know what I mean? So be careful with what you're doing with your message and stuff. Consider your reputation. But other great ideas. So, we did an apartment complex. I wrote a P for precision. We're doing all these roofs. I wrote P's on all the little dormers. That way when the property manager was like, what? What is going on? Oh, don't worry, we're going to clean it. But I want to show you the difference, But drive by unsolicited. So demos, roof stencils, shopping center roofs that are in your face. We talked about that host home in the beginning of the subdivision. Clean half of it. We did a roof in Simpsonville. It's a white roof. I cleaned half of it, put 20 yard signs in this front yard. Everybody saw it. It was right on a corner in a main area. Everybody saw that. We got some calls off of it. So write the P for precision or the name of your company. When I do proposals on apartment complexes, I do a free demo. I say, look, I'm going to write a P right here in your algae with my wand. And if you don't go with us, if something rubs you the wrong way and you don't like us, we love you, but I'm going to write a P in there, and I guarantee you that if you get it pressure washed, that P will still be there in 3 years, and the rest will be all moldy and mildew because they won't be killing the root system. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. And you let them know that. I'm going to write a P right here, and I do it, and it works. I've had an apartment complex call me 3 years later, and they're like, yeah, that thing's still there. And I'm like, sweet. Like, I didn't really believe it in the very beginning, you know what I mean? But it does, it works. And I'm like, awesome. So the bread test, so I learned that from A.C. Lockyer. He would literally, in Florida, because Florida's so competitive, he would throw a piece of bread up, and he would line up, because everybody knew that they were getting 3 or 4 quotes in Florida, right? So he would throw a piece of bread up, and if they moved the bread, obviously they were using too much pressure, right? And he would take the bread and he would do the demo on the roof, and he's like, look, I'm spraying around the bread and it's clean and everything. Then he would put the bread in a bag, and of course it was like a little wet. And he would give it to him, and he was like, yeah, do the bread test for the next competitor, right? So you want to line it up. Hey, are you getting another quote? Yeah. Well, these are the questions I would ask, right? That way when they ask the guy, is it going to kill the landscaping, and we're honest, and the guy's like, no, it won't hurt the landscaping. He might be using a degreaser, because when I first started in roof cleaning, I used this stuff. It was Roof Clean with a K, and it was like burn your hands, turn the roof brown, and it was like a full contact sport. You had to pressure wash the roof at low pressure, but it took all the granules off, and I was like, this is not good. I don't ever want to do this again type deal. So you want to set it up and educate the customer. And I literally have testimonials and stuff. And I also have letters that were printed off of Angie's List from competitors that, like, it was a window cleaning company that cleaned a roof, and it said after the roof was treated, it took multiple times for the mold and algae to get off. And I know it by heart because I read it off a lot of times. And it said the price was like $3,000, and the guy did the roof, the screens, the windows, and like a deck. And it just said, the product that they used was supposed to keep the mold off for years, and now in less than a year, the mold is back, and she wrote this thing. And I don't bash my competition by no means, and I let the customer know. You want to be honest with them. It's like, look, I just want to educate you. This is an unregulated industry. Anybody can go to ABC Supply and pick up spray and forget and spray the roof and think they're cleaning it because that's what they're telling contractors. But look, we have a proven system. This has been in use for over 25 years. We know it works. You're going to have instant results, and after it rains, it's going to look even better. And they're like, oh, okay, awesome, It's not going to take 3 months to come off, and all that stuff. So you let them know. So do a bread test, do that, set the stage, right, for those guys. Bleach water balloons. Throw some bleach and water balloons right on the roof. Don't really do that. Don't do that. Just don't do that. But, you know what I mean? I want you guys to think outside the box, okay? I want you to think of creative ways to create the buzz in your community and educate the homeowner. So large scale, clean me on the roof. If you got a really big commercial job downtown or something, right, clean me. I wish I did that in the Bon Secours Wellness Arena. Clean me right across the banner of the whole thing, right off the interstate. That'd be amazing. You know what I mean? But will work for food signs. Like I talked about, having a little thing. Kevin would do this. He'll put like a thing, with a wood on both sides and walk down the road, roof and exterior cleaning. Now, whatever you can do though, you know what I mean? So let's try 4 Guerrilla ideas. I want you guys to start with something, right? Because you're like, shoot, where do I begin? So literally, start with stencils. You can make stencils out of some poly, like the yard sign material. Make some stencils. Start stenciling some stuff. Do a roof stencil on some commercial buildings or whatever. I always say it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission, but be careful with that because you can get in some trouble, depending on where you're doing it. I used to do the surface cleaning demos on strip malls because I wanted to get a lot of strip malls. We'll talk about that tomorrow. And so anyway, I would do this demo right in the main door, and it was like, clean me and call this number, And so we had a lot of bad phone calls. But, you got to be careful with that stuff. But we got the phone calls, right? We got the decision maker to call us. We used to put business cards in the doors because who's going to unlock the door to the restaurant in the morning? A lot of times the general manager. So he's going to get your business card, putting that in the door lock right there. But obviously QR code stickers, we'll talk about that in a minute. But Bible tracts and yard signs, or you want to start with that kind of stuff, which is your initial contact flyer, your commercial brochure, what we're talking about here, putting out the clip-in flyers. And anybody know Goya?
Get off your ass.
That's right. I don't normally swear, but we got to have a lot of Goya. You got to get off your ass. People are like, I want to do Facebook ads, and I want the leads to come in. Boots on the ground marketing. You can see I'm a boots on the ground marketing kind of guy. It works. You got to get out there. You got to make things happen. Things aren't going to fall in your lap, but sometimes they do because you're boots on the ground getting it done, right? You got to be bold. You got to be confident. Get out there and make things happen. You got to create the buzz. You got to create the movement in your territory, and that's how we do it. So there's a big stencil right in the roof. So application host home, we talked about that. This is what we call a host home. The customer was given a discount for the job. So you can do 50%, you can do cost of chemicals, whatever works for you guys. Do it for free if you want to. He came in and wrote on the roof for 1 month period to cleaning. So we would do it for 1 month. Hey, let's leave this up for 1 month. We'll put a yard sign out. We'll clean it for free. They're working for you. And once they see the difference, they're going to tell their neighbors, And then plus, hey, tell your neighbors we'll keep adding $100 to your bill. So guess what? You get the roof done, you get the house done, you get the windows done every year for free. And then you just have an account in your office, so whenever a customer refers you, you put it on their account, right? So send invitations out to the community. Don't just clean that roof and do that. Create the buzz. Start mailing, whatever it is, EDDM, handing out flyers, let them know what you're doing. Don't just go clean the roof or, it irks me inside when I go and I just do a quote and I don't replicate. I'm like, man, how many jobs were lost because I didn't flyer or I didn't put out that yard sign or I didn't talk to that lady, right? There's a lot of opportunity out there. We just got to go get it. Complete cleanings on Saturdays. Saturdays are really good days because everybody's out. They're gardening. That's when I want to do my cleaning is on a Saturday. Yes, I don't like working on Saturday. I'd rather be home. But, do it once a month or whatever. You know what I mean? Get that week booked up. And then QR codes. So QR codes are barcodes that hold information based on pixels within the square. So you can have a link to your website, right? Or a link to why, so you can educate the customer why they want to clean their roof because it's eating it or, whatever it is. Smartphones with cameras can read the QR codes. This is kind of old. People don't really do the QR. When the QR codes came out, everybody's like, oh, I got to do this. I'm scanning everything. Now it's not so much, but QR codes are cool because you can place them on anything and use on Facebook for shortcuts, that kind of stuff. But over 50% of updates are done where? Facebook and Twitter updates are done using the sit-down facilities. I mean, it's a fact. This is research. 50%, they're in the bathroom. What are you going to do? Stick it on the bathroom door. So when they're sitting down, they're like, oh, yeah, what do they do on Facebook? What's this? Check it out. And then you could put something on there, roof cleaning, or, get the funk off the house, or, whatever you want to put on there, Don't put anything crazy, though, because you don't want those crazy guys calling you. But anyway, are you brave enough to take advantage of these downtimes and educate your potential customers? I'm going to go to high-end places where these guys are going to bars. I'm going to buy the little coasters, and have your logo on the coasters and give them to the bars. Because, these guys go out and they have a cigar group and all this stuff. Wherever your high-end clients are, you need to be advertising. The restaurants that are going, where are they going, right? Yes?
So one question about that is I feel like this year I've had way more calls about golf courses and building scorecards. Is that something you've ever...
Yeah, we advertise. So we have a couple. River Falls is one that we actually have par 9 or 3 or something. We have our advertisement there. And we do things like for free. We do their golf cars and stuff like that. So you want to get involved in that because high-end clients are going to be what? Playing golf, right? All kinds of fun stuff. So golf communities are really good. And especially with Bark 9, with the rust removal and battery acid, you get in the golf, hey, let me do some of these. Do a free demo for them. And then, hey, I'll clean these every month if I can advertise. You know what I mean? And then you trade out. Bartering is awesome. It doesn't cost you anything, and that's going to bring a lot of jobs to you. So again, thinking outside the box, right?